Today I'm making meatballs Parmesan. Welcome to White Shadow Fare, where I'm making it homemade and I'm making it with love. Your ingredients are pretty simple. Ground beef, eggs, onions, breadcrumbs, garlic powder, pepper, Italian seasoning, and salt to taste. You're going to start off by finely dicing an onion. Now remember, if there's anything in this ingredient list you don't like, just don't put it in there. You're going to dice up your onions, and you need to dice them up pretty finely because we're going to be making smaller than usual meatballs. Meatballs can be flavored many different ways. This is just the way that I do it. Add the seasonings that you like. Use the type of meat that you like. I always make 3 pounds when I make this because I like to save it and freeze it. So you're going to break that apart with, of course, clean hands. You're going to add about 1/4 cup per pound of meat. So for me, that's about 3/4 cup of the diced onion. 1/3 cup for each pound of meat of breadcrumbs. Salt and pepper to taste. So about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder per pound of meat. 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning per pound of meat. 1 egg per pound of meat. Clean hands, and it's just the easiest way to mix it. Make sure that if you have rings on or whatever, you take those off. So you're just going to make sure that you have everything well incorporated. You don't want to over mix it and make super tough meatballs. I bake mine in the oven, so they're like partially baked before I add them to the sauce. And then at that point, I just freeze the meatballs that I'm not going to be using for my meal. So this is a family favorite, Parmesan meatballs. All it simply is these meatballs that we're going to bake off in the oven. Use a small scoop or a tablespoon. Once you have your meatballs made and put out on a cookie sheet or 2, you're going to stick them in the oven at 400 degrees and bake them for about 20 minutes. They will not necessarily be baked the whole way through. Now, I just let those sit and cool off, and then I made some homemade sauce, but you do whatever it is you want to do. Jarred sauce works as well. You don't want too much sauce on this. It's just to have a little bit of sauce with your meatballs. And think that you're almost making like an open face meatball sub is kind of what you're doing here. So you need to shred up some cheese. I always use a blend of cheeses. Place that on top of the meatballs. Stick it in the oven for just a few minutes on broil. It comes out bubbly and delicious. Served along some nice crusty bread, a salad, and it is a delicious meal. I hope you will give this one a try. Thanks for joining me here at White Shadow Fare. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe.